Welcome back to the fourth pair. I am your host, Sam, as always, joined by my friend and co host, Alek Skarzinski. Alek, how are we doing on this? Is this Thursday?
Is it rainy by you?
It's not. It's actually a nice sunny day. It's really windy, but
Yeah, it's downpouring right now. The Mets game got postponed. I don't know if it might be canceled for the day because it's pretty bad over by me. But loving it, loving life. Coming off of a pretty rough loss by the Blues last night.
yeah, that was a tough loss, but looks like the Blues are getting back to got a little
They're
mojo back.
not
Looks
sold
like,
yet, but they're getting
yeah,
there.
there's not perfect, but hey, if they make the playoffs, that's all you need to do. Who knows what happens from there?
Yeah. So since we last met, we have had the trade deadline. Some pretty interesting stuff happened. So how about we just hop right into it because we have a lot of
Yeah,
moves to
we
cover.
got like six or seven. I think would probably be the biggest trades of the deadline. We'll start with the Tampa Bay Lightning making a mockery of the salary cap and somehow bringing on David Savard from Columbus. I mean, they had $1 million in cap going into the deadline, and they somehow brought Savard in, who I want to say is probably making at least five or six a year. But that's just another piece in what's already a loaded defensive unit uh, for the Lightning. So
Yeah, he's just another piece. And they also got that other D guy, Brian Lashoff.
yeah, I'm not. I honestly I couldn't tell you much about him, but having some depth back there too, like if they want to throw a seventh defenseman on the bench, just in,
Yeah,
rotate him in like on those game sevens and whatnot. You see that like good amount. So
yeah, it's good to have him in your pocket, especially because we all know how injuries happen and how important
hmm
depth is to the playoffs. So it's a great move. It was actually a three-way trade between Tampa
hmm
Bay, Columbus, and Detroit. And looking at the Columbus trade, along with another one that we'll get into, it looks like they're kind of just giving up and trying to rebuild because they
yeah.
traded
Look,
Savard for two picks, and then their other trade was Foligno for two more picks. So
yeah. So they shipped out Savard and Felino and got two first rounds this year. 2022 third round pick and a 2022 fourth round pick. So four picks for two guys. They're loading up. They're kind of similar approach to it's about the 25th or 16, 17 ish Rangers when they traded everybody and then just brought in a bunch of picks. So
so are they just
we'll
trying to
see what.
build around Line?
I don't know if it's gonna be Line because I mean, if Tortorella's there, then surprised they didn't bench him for being too selfish on that magnificent goal he scored a few nights ago.
What a beauty! I actually saw a tweet. It was an inside source saying that Tortorella already benched those two first round picks that they got.
For Potato too late playing too much Fortnite. It's it's a damn shame, but hopefully one day they'll get it together.
Yeah. Next
It's
we got
the
Taylor
oh my,
Hall to Boston.
I don't even want to talk about this bullshit.
What do you think
Uh,
about that? I've never really been too big on Taylor Hall ever since he left the Devils.
I mean, Taylor Hall, obviously his value is at clearly at an all time low. I mean, Anders Bjork in a 2021 second round pick for Hall and Curtis Laser. Like, somebody's sent him a bag of pucks at this point. That's nothing for a former Hart Trophy winner. Like he's maybe has been the best situation really since winning the Hart Trophy. He's kind of been,
Yeah, definitely.
that season after in New Jersey, the whole team really fell off. In Arizona, never really got comfortable, and then in Buffalo, I mean, it's Buffalo. So I think it's a great move for Boston. Like that, this is a complete win for Boston here. You're bringing on Taylor Hall, a guy who can really be a difference maker come postseason time, and you know, kind of curious for Boston that they decide to just stack up their forwards even more, despite them throwing out, almost night by night now with um who is with their D man going down.
Oh yeah.
They have no defense. A few nights ago, they got waxed by Washington, they can't stop a nosebleed right now. I mean, they have I don't know who's starting in net with like Tuca's like in and out of
Tuca's
the
actually,
lineup.
I believe they're playing tonight, and Tuca's
Hmm.
starting.
Yeah, but I'm kind of happy about the this trade a little bit because maybe the little Taylor Hall curse will be put upon to the Bruins and they'll fall off, and my Rangers can leap them for that fourth spot in the East.
Yeah, Boston just seems a little top heavy in the offensive
Hmm.
spectrum and a little weaker back on the D end. But I mean, Taylor Hall went from scoring like 20 goals at least a season, averaging looks like about like maybe 50 or so points a season to now just he's 2 goals and 17 assists in 37 games with Buffalo, which that's just
I mean,
pretty
I
brutal from what he used to be.
yeah, no, it's not doesn't look great, but like if you like, I dug a little deeper, like looked at some more like advanced stat. It's looking like Taylor Hall this season especially has been more unlucky than bad. Like
Okay.
he's been creating a decent amount of chances. They're just not falling. And he's paired up with Krejci and Smith on at least as of last night. So um, yeah, maybe they can find some mojo and something. But at this point, this team's gonna have to score 5-4 goals a game and come playoff time if they want to do anything. Because outside of Charlie McAvoy, who the hell is is playing B for the Boston
I
Bruins?
don't even. I gotta look at their depth chart because don't they
Well,
have a lot of
I have their
injuries?
lines in front of me right now. I got top pair is Charlie McAvoy, who's number two rated right defenseman in the NHL, and then he's paired with Jeremy Lausen. I don't know if I'm
Haven't.
pronouncing that right. Who's a 64th rated left defenseman. Like you don't want that as a top pair. They have the 11th ranked top pair. It's not terrible. 22nd ranked second pair and 23rd ranked third pair. This is all according to dailyfaceoff.com. They have their own rating system for all NHL players. So yeah, this is not a team like Taylor Hall. Cool. This is more of a like a clout chasing move if anything. Trying to sell some Taylor Hall jerseys, I guess. So instead of
Yeah,
actually fixing the issues with the team.
and I'm looking at it, and Halak is injured too.
Hmm.
So
Like I saw they
he's
started like they're essentially a fourth string goalie the other night with those with like, and this one I think McAvoy was out too, so they sent this guy under the ringer and he's got lit up.
is that
But
Jeremy Swayman?
I think so. I think he had a good
He's
game one
currently
of those
listed
nights.
as their backup, and he's 22.
Yeah, I kind of forget who exactly it was, but I
He
mean, I'm kind of in a way happy that Hall's off to Boston for obviously he hasn't had much team success around him. Like in Edmonton, he was never making the playoffs. Jersey, made the playoffs that one year and then lost to Tampa, and then played a little bit playoffs with the Coyotes, and obviously they got beat too. We'll see.
yeah, this goalie that Jeremy Swayman, he's actually not half bad. He's only 22. He's played 4 NHL games in his career all this year. But I mean, he's posting a 926 save percentage, 2.22 goals against average, 3-1. That's not too bad
They'll do just fine.
for a young
I
buck
mean,
with not much experience.
yeah, maybe they'll build with this guy because I know Tuca is a free agent after this season, and I know that Boston's really known for being so like forgiving and understanding with their sports teams. But I think a couple bad games from Tuca and they might turn on him.
Yeah. I don't know.
All
We'll
right.
see.
And this was an interesting trade. If this were maybe 2015, kind of be losing my mind right now, but it's 2021. And that's Jeff Carter to the Pittsburgh Penguins, which I actually love this move for Pittsburgh. You're only giving up 22 conditional third rounder or a 23 fourth round pick. Picks that really who gives a shit about right now. And you're getting a two-time Stanley Cup winning, like he's well past his prime. We all know that, but throw Jeff Carter on the third line. Maybe get some guys around him that he can gel with. I like this move for them. Get some depth going into the postseason, and just another winner in that locker room. So What do
Yeah,
you think?
exactly. He's part of that winning culture, and he just has been there before. He's gone the distance twice, like you said, to add to like all the other guys on the Penguins that have won before. Um, I just thought it was funny that back in 2018, the Kings said, "What team would ever trade Jeff Carter?" And I think the Penguins actually quote tweeted it and were like, "Hey, yo, bro, this you?" So I just thought that was pretty funny. But yeah, it's always good to have kind of veterans in the locker room because they know best what it's like come playoff time, especially when you're in a position like the Penguins. They're sitting in third place right now in the East, but the East is a pretty tight race. So with the Rangers making a splash, um, you kind of gotta take the chance while you can because with all of their main guys kind of getting older, you don't know how much time is left. So you definitely want to squeeze as much out of him as you can. So I think this is a great move. I mean, he's pretty decent too. I pulled up his stats, even though you said he is well past his prime. I mean, he still plays a bunch of games each year. Um,
Oh
and
yeah, I
he
wasn't
gets a
saying by any
decent amount
means
of
he was a
points.
bad hockey player. Just
Yeah, yeah.
at his
But I
peak,
mean,
he was a fairly elite goal scorer, and then that was back the cup runs with the Kings. I
yeah.
was kind of
I mean,
curious too,
he's
seeing Carter in Pittsburgh. He started his career, I believe, in Philly. So
yeah, and he's still posting about close to 17 minutes of ice time a game. So
that's all
that's
you
pretty
need.
healthy.
That's all you need for Jeff Carter right now. If you're the Penguins, you're looking like you're probably going to get either Washington or the Islanders in the first round.
Yeah, I just
I
think
don't. I
that's
don't
a
see them jumping up all the way to one, but
I think that trade is just like a good trade on both ends right there.
mhm. For LA, get a couple picks. Maybe one of them might turn out to be solid. So good
Yeah,
trade all around.
get some space. They're not really in a position to make the playoffs this year.
Oh
So
yeah, clear some cap space because it's Los Angeles.
yeah,
Let's
everybody
People want
wants
to
to
be
be there.
there.
So.
All right, let's go to the next one, which I think was maybe will be the most impactful trade of all of them, and that's Nick Foligno to Toronto.
Mm.
You know, it's always tough trading away a captain. I've seen it happen twice with the Rangers. That's why I'm afraid for them to name a new one because I know he'll be in Tampa in 3 years.
Yeah, the Tampa Bay Rangers.
Tampa Bay Rangers, baby. But yeah, the Maple Leafs got Nick Foligno and then other forward Stefan Noesen from Columbus. And then Columbus got, again, a 2021 first round pick, the 22 fourth round pick, and then the Sharks, for cap reasons, brought in that too. They got a 21 fourth round pick just for helping out with some cap shenanigans there. Um, Nick Foligno is obviously in Columbus. You don't get much recognition from the national media and all that. You're not playing on NBC all that often, but dude's just been a solid player his whole career here. I'm gonna bring up some stats now. He's not going to light up the scoreboard and everything, but he's going to be great in the PK, and I feel like that for will just help out more for Toronto, which they have so much flash, all this and
Yeah.
that, but can they get it done come postseason time? Is question every single year, and I really think this year that Toronto kind of has to win the cup or at least make the cup.
Yeah, or else Toronto's just gonna implode.
Then you got to start sending some of these guys out. Like you can't be paying a quarter of your cap to three guys.
As good as they are at scoring. I mean, I always thought of them as kind of like the pretty boys.
Yeah.
They like to make all those flashy goals and whatnot, but they're not really down to get dirty. So that's why you could tell that they've been making strides to kind of get away from that because clearly it hasn't
Mm-hmm.
been working in past playoffs. So now they've been adding pieces like Wayne Simmons, who I think is set to come back soon. He was out for six
Mm-hmm.
months. They added Joe Thornton, who's also out. But Nick Foligno, just a nice piece like that to
He'll
add.
help out with that little,
To,
with some grit there.
yeah, to increase their grit. And now maybe it's a nice balance of, like a nice grit to flash ratio right there that
Yeah,
can help
you need
them.
some flash. We got to sell tickets.
Yeah, of
But
course, but also, there's a very perfect ratio that you want to hit with Flash to Grit, in order to be a great team. And I think they're well. We'll see how he fits in there, but I think they're approaching that special number right there, and maybe they'll make it out of the first round this year.
well, it's going to be not. They should definitely should. They're not going to have Boston in the first round this time. They'll have likely Montreal or Edmonton, depending on where the. I'm assuming they're going to end up finishing one in the division.
Calgary is only 4 points away from the fourth spot, so
Yeah, but the Habs have 3 games in hand on them, I believe. So,
yeah, 3 games in hand, but Calgary's on a 3-game win streak.
hey, maybe
So
they'll make some noise,
it's all
but
about getting hot at the right time.
exactly. So, hey, maybe Calgary can squeak in. But,
I think the Montreal matchup would be much better for hockey fans. I
oh,
think
yeah.
Montreal Toronto would just be a really exciting series.
Yeah, that I would watch every single game of that. That's be probably the most intriguing first round matchup outside of the Rangers if they decide to make it. But we still got some time for that. A trade that really confused me at first was the Islanders. I thought they were going to get Palmieri. I thought it was going to be good. I did not expect Travis Zajac to be part of that deal as well.
Yeah, I kind of like that trade. Devils have been in the middle of a rebuild for a few years now, and Zajac's just kind of getting old. Paul Mary, he let me pull up his cap friendly, but I mean they're just clearing cap, getting picks. They're just completely buying into that rebuild. I was a little sad to see Paul Mary go, but I think they're both a great fit for the Islanders, and it just seems like the Islanders are where old Devils players go to rot. So let me pull it up. But I mean, his
Yeah,
first game, Kyle Palmieri put up a point, right?
I
Or
believe
maybe
so.
he
Yeah.
scored. I think he scored a goal. Kyle Palmieri, and he's still pretty young too. So let's see here. Things like this I should pull up first. Yeah, so he is in the middle of a 5-year contract with an average of, it looks like, 5 a year. So that's just,
This Palmieri.
yeah, that's just
Yeah,
good
he's
to,
a I believe a free agent after this season.
1, 2, 3. Not this one, but I think after the next one. And he has yeah, yeah, so that's good for him. I mean, he'll eventually get paid, I assume, by the Islanders. I don't know what their cap situation is like, but he's a player that I would want to keep around. I mean, especially watching the Devils, local team, been to a lot of games, watched him play a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of sad to see him go from the Devils, but he's still gonna do well whatever team he's on. So
Yeah, that was a good move by the for both sides really. The
yeah, again,
Devils got a couple. They got AJ Greer. No, he's a young prospect. No, maybe he'll turn out all right. And then it's always good to stack up those first round picks. So
yeah, again, they weren't gonna make the playoffs at all, so it's
yeah,
just
they're
good
not they're
that
not
they're.
not getting close. And then getting Zajac too out of it for the Islanders.
It almost seems
They're
like
building up. They want that depth to make a big playoff run. Which I hate to say it, but this Islanders team is geared up and ready for
Mhm.
I think a deep run.
Yeah, I mean they've been on the cusp the last few years, and I
Mm-hmm.
think this is the year that they need to make some noise because they've just been kind of just going up that roller coaster each year, doing a little bit better, doing a little bit better. This year they kind of have to get over that hump. And I mean, with the
Yeah.
Devils too, it kind of seems like they're slowly starting to find pieces
Mm-hmm.
to make that team and continue to rebuild. I mean, they had what 3 of the last 5 first round or first overall picks or something like that,
Was it 3? But definitely, I know they had 2 at
or
least. And
something
then
like that, something ridiculous. But it just seems like
they have a ton of
people.
top, 10 picks and whatnot.
Yeah,
And
and then people like Jack Hughes are starting to grow up a little bit, gain some muscle mass, really improve on their skills, and they're just starting to look better. And I think they'll eventually, within the next 5 years, start to look like a decent team.
yeah, I think this Jersey team with all the young talent they have, um, I think they'll have to bring in a proven maybe not like a superstar, but maybe a star in this league that has proven to score. You know how the
Yeah.
Rangers had all those young guys and brought in Panarin. I mean, they're not getting no one like Panarin. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah, because they have traded away all of their,
mhm.
veterans except for the best player in the world, Pavel Zacha. Wait, I just want
The
to.
goat.
He was 2015 NHL draft. Did I ever go over this? The people that were drafted after him.
No.
You could go onto the next pick. I gotta pull this up first.
All right. Well, another pick. I thought it was a very interesting pick or trade for both sides. Florida's trading for Sam Bennett of Calgary. A fourth overall pick from 2014, hasn't really hit his stride yet. Has shown like signs that he could be a very good player, but I think maybe just he was in a tough situation in Calgary where they're kind of stacked with some young forwards up top. They didn't really get as much time maybe. And going to Florida where he's got a ton of more vet guys, I think he could gel with. So I think it's a good pickup for Florida. Again, they want to build like this Florida team came out of nowhere this year. Really, no one expected them to be this good.
Yeah,
Maybe
they
like
look
this team.
great.
Oh, this team might make a playoff spot. Speaking of the fourth seed, whatever. But they've been rock solid all year. They've proven that they are one of those three teams in the Central that are a legit threat to win that division and go to the Cup semifinals, if you will.
Yeah, they're currently
So
in a three-way tie for first place in the Central with Tampa, themselves, and Carolina, and all three of those teams are playing tonight when we're recording this on Thursday. And it's actually interesting how it's lining up because Carolina is technically the one seed because of the tiebreaker, and they're playing Nashville, who is the four seed right now, and Tampa Bay is technically the two seed with the tiebreaker, and they're playing Florida, who's technically the three seed. So this could be a foreshadowing of what we're going to see in a month from now. So this is the best time of the season, that last month when we're starting to see potential matches and just teams are starting to play a little extra harder. Maybe putting an extra body in front of one of those shots or diving for loose pucks and stuff like that.
yeah, I think these games tonight I think are going to be very intense, especially that Florida Tampa Bay game.
Yeah,
So
especially because they're both in Florida. Okay, just to sidetrack back to this Pavel Zacha thing. Okay, Pavel Zacha, drafted by the New Jersey Devils in 2015 with the 6th overall pick. I'm just going to list off some names that you might have heard of that were drafted after him. So the pick immediately after him, Philadelphia, Ivan Provorov, probably one of their top D men. Number 9, San Jose, Timo Meyer. He's all right. He's not that good. I'm not sure if you've heard of this guy. Colorado at the 10th pick drafted this guy named Mikko Rantanen.
oh my goodness.
14, Jake DeBrusk to Boston. 16, this center, he's decent. Matt Barzell.
Oh, he's all right. Yeah.
Kyle Connor, Thomas Shabbat,
oh my goodness.
Eriksson Ek, Brock Besser to Vancouver, Travis
Brock Besser.
Konechny. Um, into the second round. How about this? Have you ever heard of Sebastian Aho?
Hmm.
Brandon Carlo.
Aren't there two Special Ahos?
Yeah, this is the
Well, this is Carolina's.
this is the good one.
Yeah, the one that everyone knows.
The one
we're
that's
talking about.
almost averaging a point a game in his career. Brandon Carlo, AJ Greer, even the guy that
Wow.
they just cut in the trade. Yeah, I think that's about it for notable names. But Anthony Sorelli, ever heard of him? Like,
All
geez.
right. So yeah, Zaka, step it up. But real quick before we move on to the next trade, just while we're talking about the Tampa, Florida, Carolina fiasco at the top of the Central Division, there's a certain player for Tampa who is on track to return for that first round matchup
Oh God, I just
by the
heard
name of Nikita Kucherov.
the Darth
Miss,
Vader theme song just started playing in my head.
yeah, no, yeah. like the scene in Rogue One where he see like his stick just glow red. Oh yeah. Um.
People keep
So
forgetting about that.
Florida and seven. Florida and seven. Yeah, because they're playing so well. Like without him, that you're thinking, oh wait, they're still missing the MVP from 2019. So
Oh wait, they're missing the guy that tied the league record for most goals in a year. That guy?
He is incredible. Yeah, 85 points in 68 games last season. Kucherov had,
That makes me
and he
want
had
to
like what
follow.
120 in his Hart Trophy season. Unbelievable. He is maybe the best player in the league,
They're
besides
like the most.
outside of McDavid and McKinnon,
They
of
seem
course.
like the
But
most complete team. Like they just
yeah,
have
I
goal
don't see a
scorers,
weakness.
defensemen, like just all around. Didn't I say it last episode? They just remind me of like the Russians in Miracle, the movie.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just I don't know, man.
yeah,
It's
they
insane.
don't have a weakness. Like they have so much talent up top. They have three good defensive lines, and it doesn't help having a probably the best goalie in the league right now, Vasilevsky. So, congrats Tampa on the back-to-back cups.
Not to keep talking about Pavel Zaka, but I think Kucherov has more goal or sorry, wait, hold on. He has more points. Stand by, please.
Mhm.
He okay, in Pavel Zaka's career, which is 6 years, he has 133 points. When Kucherov won the Hart, he had 128 points.
That's unbelievable. I mean, it does help when you're paired up with Steven Stamkos all the time. So,
I mean, but still, dude,
yeah, it's
Stamkos
still
was injured
unbelievable.
half of that season. Kucherov is just a different breed, and he was picked like 70th overall or something like that. Pavel Zacha was picked sixth. So I don't have anything against this guy either. I just think it's hilarious all the stats. Because I mean, a few of my friends are diehard Devils fans, and
hmm
they just love to kind of harp on that part. But anyway, moving on to the final big
Yeah,
splash
I'd
at the
say
deadline.
the last big trade, which is probably the biggest haul for one guy of any
And
trade, that
I
was
would say the most controversial.
Anthony Mantha to Washington out of nowhere. You know, he's put up all Instagram stories about a couple of days before how him and the missus are redecorating the home. You know, just redoing some stuff, and then bang, you're going to Washington. And they got a haul for him. I mean, Detroit got Richard Panik, Jacob Vrana, who I'm still a big fan of. You know, he's young, he's got skill, a whole lot of speed. You know, with that young core in Detroit there, they might be onto something here. And then again, a 21 first and a 22 second round pick. So they got a nice haul for Anthony Mantha.
No, Hall's on Boston. Sorry, I had to say that.
Oh my goodness.
But I Washington Capitals Twitter was imploding. It was hilarious. All of the responses to the SpongeBob meme where he's like, "You what?" But looking at it, if you look a little closer, it's not a bad trade. It really isn't.
I
Anthony
think this trade
Mantha,
is great for both sides.
his first game, he posted 2 points. I mean, goal and an assist. I think it's a great trade, to be honest. And both sides are they win from that.
Mm-hmm.
Mantha's going to be able to excel on his new team. I think he'll fit greatly into the Capitals system. And then Detroit gets two solid players and even more picks to help their extremely long rebuild.
Yeah, this is what Boston should have done. You know, Washington has plenty of forward talent, and they're a little weaker on the back. Not as much as Boston is, but they still went out and got a very good defenseman. Wait, what? I'm totally reading that wrong too. Never mind.
Idiot.
I'm so stupid.
Still a great trade though, and yeah, Boston should have done that because I don't know. Maybe Taylor Hall will surprise us because he's finally on a good team, but he's running out of excuses. Who knows if anyone will even re-sign him if he doesn't do
Why
well
did I
with.
think Mantha was a defenseman? I don't know why.
I don't know. Maybe his name kind of just sounds like a
You know, I
defense.
might be. I was probably thinking of someone else right now, but yeah.
Sometimes I think he's a defenseman. I think it's his name. It just
He's
screams.
got a defenseman's name.
Yeah,
Anthony Mantha should be defenseman, but still, You know,
People do have
again, just more
teams,
more
yeah,
talent for the um for
already red hot
Washington.
Capitals. Yeah,
Yeah, this team looks like they're going to be a problem.
which I would love to see Capitals play Tampa. That would be fun. That'd be
Yeah,
lots of
that'd
fun.
be a hell of a matchup. I mean, two juggernauts. You got so much star power too on both
Just two
sides.
enormous teams that Kucherov against Ovi.
Let me
Like,
see these caps lines, what they're looking like moving forward. Yeah, so
and
they got Mantha on the second line with Backstrom and Oshie.
oh geez,
It's the third ranked forward or second line in the NHL.
wow. Does it show you like who the first two are, or do you have to
Um,
look that up?
I think I have to go team by team. I don't think there's like a ranking thing
Second
here.
line, I don't even know who I would guess for that because whenever I try to think of it, I just always think of like first lines, like the Marchand line or the Landeskog
Oh,
line.
the Rangers are fourth, second line. I was thinking them, but no. Let's just start guessing here.
Maybe it would
Uh,
be
Toronto, maybe?
Tampa. Tampa or Toronto would be one of
No,
them.
Toronto was not it.
Tarampa.
Wow. No.
Uh, Colorado. Who's Colorado's pretty stacked too.
Colorado's quite all right.
You can't like just look up that category.
Yeah, I mean, I probably could, but I don't really know how to. Well, I'm not super hip with this
Okay.
site, so all right, let's move on anyway.
All right.
Um,
That's all the big
yeah,
trades from the
those are the big
deadline.
trades of the deadline here. So let's we want to do a little sin bin.
Yeah, I don't think we did it last episode, so we
Yeah, I
got
think we just
some
forgot about it.
time to make up. You go first.
All right, so this has been a common player in the sin bin here, and that is the NHL player safety.
Again.
And this is not in regards to like a penalty or anything. This is the NHL just saying, "Oh, get out there and play to the Vancouver Canucks."
Oh, I was gonna bring that up actually.
They're
The
you
JT
know
Miller fiasco.
yeah, like so. JT Miller said like he doesn't think they should be like heading out so soon, like which I totally agree. They want this team who hasn't played since March 24th to go out there tomorrow night, Friday, and start their 19 games in 31 days to finish the
Hmm.
season. They're not making the playoffs. Like at this point, like some of these guys, most of the team had COVID and showed very strong symptoms, and some of them are saying there's still lingering effects, like whether it's like brain fog or their chest tightens up, much quicker than normal, like they're getting tired quicker than normal. At this point, for them, I don't know if it's worth it to finish the season.
Yeah, it's just not fair either.
I
Like
mean,
that.
I don't think we're gonna be. I don't think we're gonna be too sad if we miss the five remaining Canucks Senators games that are gonna be played.
Oh, they play the Canucks or the Senators
Yeah,
five
there's like
times.
4 or 5 times that they play the rest of the season of those 19 games, and they want them to squeeze every single game in so they can get into so they can start the playoffs. As if this team is really competing for a spot. Like they've been disappointing all year.
Yeah, they haven't been that good all year. Even if they do make the playoffs, like they're still not going to be 100%, and they're just most likely going to get smoked because they're playing those games back to back. I just
Yeah, like
not worth
19
it.
games in 31 days.
Yeah, because think
That
about
for a healthy team, that's a lot. Let alone a team coming off that's most of them just had a bad respiratory illness.
they're going to be gassed going into the first round. It won't even be fair because they're already a step behind. Then playing all those games, if they do make the playoffs somehow, they're going to be even more gassed. It's just not worth it.
It's I mean, props to JT Miller that was speaking out, against it, and then even like the Canucks Twitter account, posting that video too, and kind of giving them some love there because I know plenty of like teams would not want, especially their own Twitter account, to be promoting that. So
Yeah, they wouldn't want
props
that
to
to have
them.
a. Yeah, good for him though.
So at this point, like I don't know what the logistics would be, whether they want to like cancel the games, like just forfeit them, give the winner, give Everyone say you got 3 games left against Vancouver. Bam, that's 3 wins for you guys. But
Yeah,
figure
but
out
would that be
logistics.
fair
But
I don't know if that'd be
yeah,
fair.
I'm not sure what the fairest way would be. Maybe have to reschedule some games. Like, oh, you're supposed to play Vancouver tonight, and they're
Yeah.
supposed to play Vancouver tomorrow. Hey, you guys play tonight or something. Like, I'm sure if I mean they are getting evaluated today just to make sure like they can play. But they're getting like cardiologists and doctors in there to make double check. Make sure they're all good to go. They're all cleared. So
Yeah, I just don't think they should, especially for how they've been playing all year. They've just been like nothing.
so if it's played tomorrow, um, Oilers puck line. I mean,
Yeah.
you got to take
uh,
advantage of it if they are playing.
yeah, I mean, come on, we gotta think about it, responsibly here. We're here to make money. uh, but my sin bin would be. I'm actually surprised he hasn't been put in the sin bin yet, but he'll definitely be put in the sin bin a few more times come playoff times once more games are on NBCSN. But Pierre McGuire, dude, you freaking turtle! I hate you. I don't like you one bit. You suck.
No one
I
does.
That one time where he almost got hit by the puck, I was so disappointed. But he just can't pronounce players' names right. He just always looks lost. He's just annoying. I don't like him. So if I ever saw Pierre McGuire, I I wouldn't shake his hand.
Is it on site?
That's what I no, I'm not gonna fight him. That's not cool. But like I'm not gonna shake his hand and I'm not gonna be like, oh my gosh, is that Pierre McGuire? I'm a huge fan. I'm gonna be like, oh, that's
Just
uh,
go on my day.
I'm just gonna keep walking. I'm gonna tell my friends and be like, yo, I saw him in public, and you know what I did? Nothing. Because I don't like him.
Hey, next year we got hockey on ESPN and ABC, so
Yeah, and he
we'll
better
see who's
not get
got.
re-signed.
I need Melrose back in the booth, or we need Gary Thorne
Yeah.
back in the booth. He said he'd be interested, so we'll see. I'm very excited for
I
ESPN
said it
to be
when we
taking
talked
over
about
NHL.
Doc Emmerich retiring. We need Joe Buck if it's just one game. I just want to see what he would do. I
Yeah,
just want
gotta give him a little crash course on the NHL in general because I'm not sure how big of a hockey fan Joe
well, I know
Buck
he's a
is.
gambler, so maybe he's already kind of
Oh yeah, you know
don't
what?
know that.
He probably has enough knowledge, and he's a very articulate guy. He's get him in the booth for just a
But can you
trial
just
run.
imagine him commentating like a game 7 like he does for playoff baseball? He'd be like imagine double overtime in a game 7 and someone scores the game winning goal and he's just like and he scores and they're moving on.
Goal scored by Alexander Ovechkin, and the
Good
Washington
goal.
Capitals win the Stanley Cup.
And good night.
He's gotten better though.
Yeah, he has
Joe Buck
gotten
has
better.
gotten better with his mate. The one I think of when I think of Joe Buck really underselling stuff is the David Tyree catch in Super Bowl 42,
Oh yeah. I just think of
and it's
Yankee
caught
memes.
by Tyree. It's like,
Dude,
all
what?
right, like nothing happened.
Just
And
glued
that, and
to
that,
his
that
helmet.
that's what feeds the whole thing. That like, oh, he hates New York sports, but yeah, whatever.
I mean,
Let's
he
move
plays
on.
for the Yankees too, though. But all right, we got picks. I
We
went
got
3-0
some
last week,
picks. I went 1-2, I believe. So
but you're
tomorrow.
still winning money though
Oh
if you
yeah,
took all 6 of the picks.
that's right. Tomorrow there are 6 games for Friday the 16th. There's lines for 5 right now. There's no lines currently for the Canucks Oilers game because it's not, I
Just in
guess,
case, yeah.
officially official. But I'm gonna start it out like if that game is played. I'm not sure what the odds will be, but take Oilers puck line. I just watch Vancouver come out and just smoke them, but
Yeah, right.
I don't see that happening. But
Doubtful.
what's a big game in the North at 6? So we have 5 games. I love how they're staggered because there's a game at 6, a game at 7, a game at 8, a game at 9, and a game at 10.
Wow, we've never seen that happen
Maybe
before.
the NHL has listened to us and decided to stagger their schedule instead of putting every single game at 7 and then every late game at 9:30 or 10.
They probably have interns that just scour the internet for hockey podcasts.
All right, so my first pick is gonna be the 6 o'clock game between the Flames and the Canadians. Flames been grooving a little bit. Um, I'll take him at plus 120 at Montreal tomorrow night. It's a big game for both teams, and the Flames know that they need to win every game pretty much. Obviously
Yeah,
not every single game they don't need, but especially when you're
but every
playing
game is
Montreal,
yeah,
because when you have Montreal has three less games played than Calgary, so they have to take advantage and give them their own losses. So
especially when you're playing the team that you're chasing.
you can't give up points to them. If you're Calgary, you got to win this game in regulation. But
Yeah, even going to
I'm just gonna
overtime could be detrimental. It
yeah, no,
could
just
come
that
down to
that
one
one
point.
point. You never know what's gonna happen. So we'll start out with the Flames plus 120, and then we're gonna go 7 o'clock. Let's go with the New York Islanders minus 106 at the Bruins. Bruins, they're lost defensively a little bit. The Islanders are just a well-oiled machine at this point. Better coach. They have probably more depth. So let's take the Islanders tomorrow at 7 o'clock. And then just to get some value in these two teams, the Wild and Golden Knights. The Wild are minus 195. The Knights are minus 235. Let's parlay them together. Probably get it to about even, I would say. No, let's throw the Avs in that too to make it, a little three leg here.
Okay,
Um,
all heavy favorites.
yeah, no, it's three big favorites. No, it might be a little sucker play here, but hey, if the Wild's been grooving, the Avs, we all know what the Avs have been doing, and the Ducks stink. The Knights are a wagon. I don't see those three teams losing.
Okay.
I'll see if I can
Uh,
get calculate my odds real quick, but you start up.
so let's see. I was gonna take the Islanders, so I agree with you on that pick.
Hell yeah.
Islanders money line. Uh, I'm gonna take exact score. I haven't done one of those in a while. The
Ooh.
Minnesota San Jose game. It's gonna be a 4-2 win for the Minnesota Wild. I don't know what the odds are on that because they're not up yet. But when I took a 3-2 exact score, it was plus 1,000. So I'm going to assume it's around that, maybe a little bit more. But 4-2 Wild. And lastly, I'm going to do a little Cali Boys parlay with Anaheim and LA.
Money lines?
Yep, the two big favorites are going down because we don't watch hockey for favorites to win. We watch for anarchy, and that's what we want. Cali Boys parlay. They're both
All right.
Kings are plus
So
230, Anaheim's plus 188. You got to imagine it would be 10 to win, like probably at least 30.
yeah, I would say it's got to be pretty close. Let's find out. Plus 188.
Plus 850 would be the odds on DraftKings. 10 to win 85.
All right.
Hey man, if I
So
if I hit that plus the exact score, I don't know. I could buy my own team.
buy a lottery ticket right there.
Yeah. But yeah, 3-0 last week, 3-0 this week.
Hey, let's keep it rolling here. Have a good week.
Don't miss out on free money.
Yeah. Flames, Islanders, and I'll go. Actually, I'm gonna throw Wild puck line in there too, and Oilers puck line if they play. But
Okay.
so I got the four
Lots
singles and
lots
then
of
the
action
big
this
then the
week.
big favorite parlay. Yeah, actually, not a lot of games Friday, but I do like all of them. So
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I like anything, so
and also make sure to follow Caps on Sports on Twitter because I'll probably have picks up on Friday or on Saturday morning for the 10 to 12 games that are on. So Alec, we can collab on that, get some picks out.
yeah, no doubt.
All right. Well, I believe that's all we have for today.
Just one last thing. Carolina, Tampa Bay, Florida three-way tie. All at 58 points. We got a hurricane, lightning bolt, and a panther. Oh wait, but the mascots, let's see. I know Tampa Bay is like some kind of bug,
All
and
right.
his name's Raymond. Oh wait, no, that's the Tampa Bay Rays. Okay, Thunderbug.
Thunderbug. Oh wow. Yep. You
I'll
just
look
like
up
a
Carolina.
just like a big yellow jacket. Florida's Mini Stanley. No, it's Victor E. Rat.
Oh, okay. distant cousin of Chuck E. Cheese.
I believe so. Oh, this is like
And
this is like a panther though. I'm confused.
the Hurricanes have Stormy, not Kylie Jenner's kid, but an anthropomorphic pig who wears the number 97. Shortened for the 1997 year when the Hartford Whalers moved to North Carolina.
Well, so actually, look at the Panthers mascots. They have a few.
What?
They
Oh,
have
because
Victor E. Rat. They have Stanley C. Panther, and then Mini Stanley.
oh wow.
So I think the three of them together are going
Little
to
tag
win.
team action,
Little tag team action.
and they have Joel Quenville's mustache.
That's true. You can't underestimate that. So
I'm gonna take
forward
well
to the
the
moon.
pig will die first, and then it's between Thunder. It's a 1v3 with the Thunderbug and the Panthers and the mouse.
I think Florida's got it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Florida. All right, there you have it.
There you
Florida's
have it. Florida will
winning
win
it
the
all.
Central Division.
That's kind of cheating though. No, they're the only team with multiple mascots.
And there's no one stopping anyone else from doing multiple mascots. I mean,
True.
they can step it up.
All right. Well, I think some teams are gonna have to come together and make some new mascots then, just so they could combat that. But anyways, that was this week's episode. Thank you everyone for watching and listening. And if you want to make lots of money, just take all of our picks. We post them, on all of our social media accounts at Caps on Sports, CAPSONSPORTS. Did I spell that right?
I think so.
I'm a good speller. I have a college degree. But anyways, thank you for listening. My name is Alek, as always with Sam. We'll see you guys next week. Have a good day.